Hello, and welcome to episode 1 for Engines of CP. In this series, we will be covering the different locomotives that Canadian Pacific has used throughout their history. For this episode, we will be covering the General Electric ES44AC, so without further delay, let's begin. The General Electric Evolution series of locomotives is the most popular road freight locomotives that you will see pulling trains out on today's North American rails. With several thousand spread across several Class 1 and Class 2 railroads, you will definitely see no shortage of GEVOs on any railroad you go Railfan. But how did it get this way? In order for us to find out, we need to go back to the year 2003. Much better. So the year is 2003, and the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, has come out with brand new locomotive emission standard requirements, this being the stricter and newer for the time Tier 2 emission standards. With the new requirement in mind, this meant that all new locomotives built after the deadline date must meet the standards. If not, they would have to go under serious testing and become credit units. With the new standards, the two major locomotive builders, Electromotive Diesel and General Electric, who we will be focusing on, went to the design boards to create a locomotive fit for the requirements. EMD would create the ES44AC, an improved variant of the ST70 Mac and ST9043 Mac, and GE would create the ES44AC, or Evolution series. Based on the successful AC4400CW and -9 series of locomotives, the ES44 was the newest and most technologically advanced locomotive that GE had to offer. With a new prime mover model called the GEVO, it would replace the old FBL line of prime movers, which was so tried and true with General Electric's reputation. With technical specs on the horizon, it's best that we cover them. Let's get into them. First, let's break down the name. ES stands for Evolution Series, 44 denotes the 4,400 horsepower output from the prime mover, and the AC means that the locomotive is powered by alternating current traction motors. Weighing in at a hefty 416,000 pounds, this six-axle locomotive rides on either the GE high-adhesion trucks or GE steerable trucks. The locomotive has a length of 73 feet 2 inches, a height of 15 feet 5 inches, and a width of 9 feet 11 inches. The nickname GEVO is actually the name of the prime mover, which in this case is a GEVO-12, which is a 4-stroke 4,400 horsepower 12-cylinder powerhouse. All ES44 locomotives come equipped with the Nathan K5HL air horn and GE steel bell or Graham White 373E bell. Here are a few samples. Jumping ahead to 2005, Canadian Pacific was thriving away with their new GE AC4400CW locomotives, along with the ST9043 Mac locomotives. But with the new demonstrator GEVOs making their way around, it wasn't long till CP got to try them out. CP was very impressed with them and said, "Hey, I want some of these." So they placed an order with GE for 100 ES44AC locomotives, but with a catch. You see, CP wanted their GEVOs to have very similar traits from the AC4400CW, so train and maintenance crews would already have some familiarization with the units. So, CP would order their GEVOs to have desktop controls, along with GE steerable trucks similar to the ones found on the AC44. Other notable details were the nose-mounted number boards along with the F and D ice shield coupler pockets on the rear. These units were numbered 8700 to 8799, and were delivered and placed into service in 2007. The units would go across the CP network and would phase out the EMD ST9043 NACs, GP7Us, GP9Us, and ST9043 Mac H's. CP would then make another order with GE for another batch of ES44s in 2008. These would be numbered from 8800 to 8899 and would feature a new cab with nose-mounted number boards and a GE control stand instead of control desk. These units would also sport the high-adhesion truck design instead of the steerable truck design previously featured on the first order GEVOs. Now CP would paint wait. What are you doing here? Who are you? Wait.
Hello everyone, PensyFan19 here, and I will be covering the Olympics units in this short segment. In 2009, CP would paint several new GEVOs in an action red color with white banners in the middle of the long hood bordered by green and blue stripes. This was in honor of the 2010 Vancouver Olympics, which CP would sponsor and help deliver materials for the event. The units painted were 8858 through 8877.
Oh, thank you, Pensy. The final orders for GEVOs were completed by 2013, with them being numbered from 8900 to 8960 and 9350 to 9379. The reason for the odd number gaps was due to the conflicting numbers with the GP9U and GP7U locomotives, along with the SD9043 Max. These would be the more generic GEVOs of the bunch, with the number boards on the brow and the standard GE control stand. However, CP8939 would come as an oddball unit from the factory with a special sticker on both sides of the cab honoring Lord Strathcona, who was very instrumental in building the Canadian Pacific Transcontinental Railway. He was actually the one to hammer in the last spike in Craigellachie, British Columbia at 9:22 a.m., November 7th, 1885. All units are still in active service, with the only units retired being ones involved in wrecks. Now that we're back to present day, what about the Every Child Matters unit? Take it away, Pensy.
In 2021, CP would paint CP8757 in a specially designed orange and black scheme to honor and pay respects to all the victims of the infamous residential school system in Canada. The locomotive was commissioned by a 13-year-old Indigenous Jacob Hoffer, who sent a letter to CP about possibly painting the locomotive to honor the victims for truth and reconciliation. The locomotive was unveiled at a press conference in Calgary at CP's headquarters on September 30th, 2021. The locomotive was painted in the bright orange car body with a white sill and black underframe. The words "Every Child Matter" were placed on both sides of the hood behind the locomotive, with the ECM logo and Every Child Matters logo on the front of the cab on both sides. The CP lettering was in black and complemented with the beaver logo.
The ES44s on CPKC's roster, no matter what the paint is, Southern Belle, Action Red, or highly teased CPKC AWVR 767 looking paint scheme. No matter what, these units will always be a part of the CPKC roster, the national railway and largest railway of Canada. Thank you very much for watching this first episode of Engines of CP. I would like to apologize to everyone for the 5-month hiatus of this series. I know I've been teasing this for a while. Special shout out to PensyFan19 for helping out with this first episode, doing a little cameo there.
Thanks for having me on board.
And stay tuned for the next episode where I'll be covering the
We Do Not Care.
Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.